basketball is much different now. Kids don't pick schools because they want to be a part of the program. They pick schools because they think it's the best place for them to get to the next level. And so it's different. And that's sad because this is a beautiful place. And having an opportunity to go to school here and put on this uniform and practice on this floor every day is a privilege. And I wish that more kids understood that and believed in it.
Can you recall the last conversation, like good conversation you had with Coach Smith, and if you're willing to share what that was about?
The last conversation, I don't remember. I do remember it was my last year in the NBA, and we were playing the Washington Wizards, and Michael was with the Washington. I played with Michael the first time that he came back, but the second year I was with the Detroit Pistons, and Coach Smith showed up, and not to see me, but also to see Michael. But we were playing during that time, but he took the time to come into the locker room. I remember when he walked into the locker room, I was on the Stairmaster, and I jumped off, and it was him and Coach Guthridge, and I just gave him the big hug, and I was like, yes, sir, yes, sir. And all the guys in the locker room were like, man, it was like, you're like a little kid. That's like your dad. And I was like, he is my dad. That's my coach. And he took the time to come in there and say hello. It was great having that opportunity to share with my teammates that went to other programs the relationship that I had and that all the players had with Coach Smith.
Was there a particular moment with Coach that sticks out in your mind when you remember him? That's sort of the first memory you come up with?
Yeah, he gave me an opportunity. I was in high school and I had wanted to come to school here since HubertDavis was here. And he made a recruiting trip to my house and said, I don't want you to come to Carolina. He says, I don't think you're good enough. I don't think you're fast enough, athletic enough. I know that we're family friends, but I'm fearful that you would come here and that you would sit the bench all 4 years. I think you should go someplace else, to a lower Division I school. And I told him, and I said, Coach, I appreciate your opinion, but we won't know for sure unless you give me an opportunity. I said, first I wanted to go to Carolina because I wanted to get an education. I wanted to graduate from there, but I wanted an opportunity to compete. He says, well, I still don't know if you're going to get that opportunity. I just don't think you're good enough. 2 days later, he called me back and he goes, okay, I'm going to give you that opportunity. And so for a kid that just wanted to be a part of the university and part of the program and gave me an opportunity to compete, the reason why I'm here is because of him saying yes. And so, that's one of many things that he taught me was always giving kids an opportunity. That's why when I'm coaching the JV team, it's so hard to cut, because I always think about what Coach Smith said, just giving guys an opportunity. And so that's the first thing that I think about.
As someone who knows him well, how heartening is it that when this happened, nobody's talking about his coaching numbers? Nobody's talking about that. Everybody's talking about him as a person. What does that mean to you?
That's who Coach Smith is, and I'm thankful that that's the way people are talking about him, because what he was doing was teaching life through basketball. It really was. He never used the word he used the word win one time in my 4 years here. The one time he used win was after we lost to Coach Williams in the 1991 Final Four. We came back to the hotel. That's when he got kicked out for the 2 technicals. And we were in a meeting, and he said, guys, I apologize for getting kicked out of the game. And he goes, I just wanted to let you guys know I just felt like that we were good enough to win the championship. And all of us had our heads down. As soon as he said win, we all picked up our heads. We all started balling. Me, Rick Fox, King Rice, Pete Chilcutt, George Lynch, Eric Montrose, because we've never heard him talk about winning. He always talked about the preparation and the process. And we were just like, Coach Smith thought we were good enough to win? We were just balling. And so I'm glad people are not talking about him as a basketball coach. I'm very thankful that, because they're getting it right when they're talking about Coach Smith as a person.